than has told me to make sure to blend into the background and try to magnify their voices. He said earlier to me today, be like a wall and try to magnify what they have to say. So I'm reading two poems by a Rohingya researcher and a poet. His name is Mayyu, and he's a young Rohingya poet who in 2018 published a book of poems called The Blossom. His poems have appeared in Modern Poetry and Translation, World Literature Today, and Combat Genocide Anthology. He fled Bangladesh when his home was burned down by Burmese security forces during the violence on 25th August 2017. He and his parents live in Cox's Bazar refugee camp in Kutupalong. Okay, so the first poem I'll read by Mayyu Ali is called The Naf River. The Naf River, Mayyu Ali. The river separates Arakan and Bengal, the river that Rohingya straddled to here, the crossing to escape or to die, where many are swallowed alive. East becomes a roaring inferno. West is the world's largest makeshift camp. Some leave their limbs behind, bodies are carried, others cross with bullets embedded. A bullet in the chest bigger than a heart, a body falls into the water, another dances on the riverbank. The world just watches on. Whilst criminals erase their marks, the river cradles irrefutable evidence. Whilst human solidarity is a lie, waves bear witness what the victims suffer. The next poem that I'll read is called That's Me, a Rohingya. That's Me, a Rohingya by Mayyu Ali. When I was born, I was not a baby like you are, without a birth certificate, just like death. When I was one, I was not a child like you are, without a nation, just like a pet. When I was at school, I was not a student like you are, without a Burmese face, just like the bleakness of the future. When I was in another village, I was not a resident like you are, seeking approval overnight, just like a crazed detainee. When I pass through my town, I'm not a citizen like you are, holding Form 4 authorization, just like a nomad. When I go to university, I'm not a fresher like you are, being professionalism a major, just like illegitimate. When I approach people, I'm not acceptable like you are, suffering apartheid and chauvinism, just like quarantine. When I want to marry, I'm not a fiance like you are, approved for marriage, just like an alien. When I want to repair my hat, I'm not allowed to like you are, facing palpable denials, just like an invader. When I arrange a little trade, I'm not a vendor like you are, ongoing, restricted, and confiscated, just like a pauper. When I apply for the civil service, I am not a candidate like you are, receiving the motive of rejection, just like someone segregated. When hospitalized in the state-run clinic, I'm not the favorite patient like you are, marginalized and discriminated, just like an outsider. When I choose religion, I'm not faithful like you are, restricted worship in demolished mosques, just inhuman. While I'm in the orchestrated riot, I'm not a survivor like you are, no assurance of safety, just like a rape victim. When the new year turns, I'm not a civilian like you are, under decades-long operation, just like an inventory item. Even when I live in the country where I was born, I can't name it as mine like you do, without identity, just like an immigrant. Even when I breathe the sky's air, I'm not human like you are, without a reliable undertaker, just like a loner. Even when I watch the sunrise, I'm not living like you are, without the fertility of hope I live, just like a sandcastle. Despite living on the apex of inhumanities and the direness of immoralities, I'm quite surrounded. My skin trembles just to feel once the full meaning of freedom. My heart wishes just to walk once like in my own world. Nowadays, no one is like me, only myself, just a Rohingya.